Hello. Hmm. Hello. Yeah, let's start. So, my name is Spandan Dasgupta. I am the former project head for CAT, and we'll learn about Unity in this stream. So, basically, as you have been taught Unity for the past two streams as well, so we'll look at a project and dissect it basically. So this is basically the first project which I made in Unity and in any game development ever, basically. So we'll start with that. Uh, Let me check if the stream is alright. Yeah. Let's see. Stream starts. Okay. Let's confirm. Yeah. Okay, I guess. Fine, I'll increase the volume, I guess. I'll talk louder if it's fine. Okay. Is it fine right now? Hmm? Okay. Let's start. So this is basically the first game which I ever made. I followed a tutorial, of course, like everybody else. So yeah. So let's dissect it. So basically, what I have opened right now, if you can see, is the main menu. The main menu which I designed, it is basically a blueprint as you have already used somewhere. Yeah. So let's yeah. So basically, I put all these buttons, I put everything. Uh, this was all in the package which I learned from. This is the basically the level. So I use the main menu there. So yeah, let's yeah. So basically put buttons. So all in package it has been so like so let's first play it and see what actually dissector will go around with every it and see what see how it does. Is made what around with things which could be changed, which could be made better, and what things we will keep or we will plan to discard later. Keep or we will plan to discard later. Okay, fine. This level is at yeah, fine. This level is at so yeah. So we have wow, it's quite slow. Okay, yeah. A big problem with Unreal, a big problem why I don't usually use Unreal nowadays is mainly because and it's very good. It's much more easier to take games and community or knowledge. So have games happening. So it's very good in that regard. But of course, even if still make games without knowing a lot of, so it's quite it's easy to learn in that regard. But of course, if it even if it's easy to learn, it is still takes a lot of like it's it needs to be quite beefy. Your computer needs to be quite beefy to actually use it. See, it's lagging quite a lot in mine. Yeah. Wow. Okay, let's start the game. This will be more of a nostalgia kind of thing for me as well. So let's see what actually happens. Wow, it takes quite a lot of time, isn't it? So yeah, I'll talk about Unreal more. Okay, so basically, this was not actually the first game which I made. The first games which I made were in C++ program. This is pure code, no graphics, no nothing. So this was the first game which with graphics, as whereas this was the first game which I actually had to complete in a certain time program, pure code, and follow the tutorial. So this was the tutorial was quite easy. I was never able to export this game because lighting broke, like everything in Unreal. And follow the tutorial. Fine, it's the tutorial was quite easy. I was never able to export this game because lighting broke, like everything in Unreal. Okay, fine, it's loading, I guess. As you can see, it's all black. That's mainly because the lighting broke. I couldn't quite do anything. Uh, yeah, what was the button for battery? Forgot. Uh, so as you can see, basically you can see that. That's mainly because the light broke. As you can see, it's all black. That's mainly because the lighting broke. I couldn't quite do anything. Uh, yeah, what was the button for battery? I even forgot. Fine, I guess. Although some things did emit light and work kind of which emit light and which do work, not everything. Wow, I'm lost in darkness again. Uh, Fine. So I have this. I grab but these things in the map and like so you can survive this battle of course good things did like so it's supposed to be a kind of I guess whoever like active supposed to be let's not with the maps. So map is basically I guess the lake is the map, right? So map is let's open that up. I guess the lake is the map. Yes, in the main menu, let's open that up. As we go around with things, I'll show you basic. As we go around with things, I'll show you basically the code. Okay, basically the code, the logic behind it. This is the map. Sure. Okay. So basically, you can see this this is my cursor. Yeah, basically basically as of this this is the shared family now as the food and basically times you actually the line and basically the point where we together I think like 5 or something and we pause some walls by walls are these okay so yeah basically the mansion is supposed to be separate from world and thing so yeah those are basic walls these walls walls are does not trust you supposed to be yeah next is the Okay, basically. Okay, let's go. And the landscape of what I like. This was the first but I love three okay, okay, fine. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Basically tag वाला Discord ना. हाँ हाँ ठीक है. आ रहा हूँ Discord पे. Discord खुल रहा है. Unreal की वजह से सब कुछ kind of slow हो रहा है कंप्यूटर. और Discord हैंग करता है. Okay, so I guess we are back. So yeah, this is basically the lake level. Uh, but while the stream was getting fixed, the texture decided to show up, it seems, because there were quite a lot of compiling of shaders. It took basically an hour. I opened it an hour ago and it's finished just now. So yeah, as you can see much better now, what's grass, what's supposed to be land, what's everything. So yeah, let's continue with this. So yeah, hunger pickups, the maintain actor, the interactable things, important interactable things. One should be here, the basically the fire. The other should be near the mansion. Three are there. I would say one is for opening the door, one is for zombie spawning, and other is for sound effects. Uh, yeah. Next are the hunger pickups. There's the explosion for the fire. Let's see the fire. Yeah, okay, fine. Look at it there. Yeah, there's the start point. Light points are there, basically. Uh, okay, volume processing. It's basically for the earlier there was a problem which was basically things were too kind of bright and reflective, and there was a thing like a fog kind of thing, which I removed using this volume post processing. There's of course the sky sphere, which is this here, but yeah, this basically it. Uh, of course, the sky is part of it. Doors, of course, two doors in the mansion. Yeah, door frame is of course as well. Sphere reflection and capture, basically uh, this one. This was me testing out things to fix the light, and of course two trigger volumes, one for the fire and one for the mansion. Okay, okay. So we'll look at each of the blueprints one by one. So let's first start with the battery pickup, basically pickups. So yeah, this is the event graph. Let's start with the viewport. So the battery pickup is basically a box with a texture around it, simple as that. The texture is basically an image which I had from it. There is no script of construction, there is an event graph. Let's look at the event graph. Okay, so basically it starts with when the player is on the object. Basically, it's interacting with the object, colliding with the object. Yeah, basically, it's checking that. What is it interacting with? The player character. Okay, so if it interacting with the player character, we will player battery and we'll add 25 with it. It's supposed to be 100. We'll get player battery, and if it's 100, we'll yeah, if it's equal to greater than 100, then it will basic I means if it's full, then it will check the conditions for the branch. Basically, if it's 100, so yeah, it will stay 100. If it's not 100, then it will go here and will set it to the value of like basically the player dex. Yeah, it will basically destroy the component. So yeah, it will get player battery 25, and then put set it as a player battery plus 25. So basically, if it's for example 20, let's say, okay, so it will go around this way. So it will add 25, so it will be 45. Then this will it will go here as well simultaneously and check if it's less than equal to 100. If it's less than 100, then it will go to this part, the set part. So we already have what 45 from here, right? So it will set player battery to 45. If it's 100 or something like that, it will set it to 100. 100, more than 100, anything, it will set to 100. 100 is the max. After it, it will destroy the box, of course, and it will destroy everything. I this whole thing will be destroyed. It will destroy. Okay, so basically the same logic applies as well to, if I am correct, it the same logic applies to this as well, the food one. Both major and minor hunger pickup. We'll look at minor first. So yeah, same logic there, but yeah, it's also 25 for the minor one, and it will basically go with the same logic, and it will destroy it. Nice. Now we'll look at the major as well. Major should be 100 if I am correct. Yeah, it adds 100, and it adds 100 and also sets it 200 if it's more than 100. Kind of, yeah. This is basically me working around the fact that, yeah, I already have this part of the code. Uh, it already works. So I'll just manipulate it, add some things, and just make it work. That's it. At least that's how I used to code earlier. Nowadays, what I would have done is basically just set this set as 100 and then just move on with it. No, these whole thing is not much required. Just one block would be enough. Yes. But oh well, we all start somewhere. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the bigger chicken. The smaller chicken was the minor one. Okay, let's go look at the player character, I would say, because the player. Okay, fine. Let's see the player character alone for a bit, and let's see what else is. Okay, blueprint walls. Yeah, these are the ones which are from the standard assets one, so don't need to worry about that. The flowers, the water is as well from the downloaded assets. Okay, let's see the key. The key is something which we had to create, so let's look at it. Okay, basically that's an iteration kind of thing. So basically, when it's basically interacting with the player, it's in the condition either it's pickable or not pickable. We'll look at it's basically dependent upon what the objective is. If the objective is related to find, if the objective is find the key, then it will be basically working according to that. Then basically the keys will be pickable, and if it's not find the key, then it's not pickable. We'll look at it. If it's pickable, then it can collide with the player. Otherwise, the player will just walk over it. So it will check. Okay, fine. It will check basically the item slots one by one. If item slot is empty, then it will just put it to the next item slot and try next item slot and so on so on. When it finds an empty item slot, we'll just set the item slot value as 2. The value of 2 is what key is. I guess the value of 1 should be the log in that case. Well, we'll see. Yeah, basically the 2 is the key. So we'll put it as basically it destroys from the world and it will go in the item box. We'll look at the item box as well. Yeah, so it will get the player character and what will it do? Let's see. Okay, so it will get the objective basically. There was the objective was get the mansion key basically. So after the objective is get the mansion key, it will set the objective to open the door. This is how most of the objectives will did work. And it will also save game, I guess. If the save game exists, then survival save slot, then load survival save slot. Okay, fine. If already a save exists, it will override the save. Whenever the objective is changed, I think we save the game. So basically, this is saving the game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, it saves the game. This is the key. I don't know where it is in the world, but we'll see. Where is it? Okay, fine. It's in the cabinet. That's key one. Okay, it's in the lake as well. Yeah, I've put multiple key. You need to find only one key, but I just put multiple just because. Okay, so I guess after the key, we should look at the logs. Lightflower is also downloaded. Logs. It should be quite similar to the key as well because basically event item. Yeah. So, okay, where does it start? This should be for the key as well, right? A pre part. Okay, no. Okay, fine. So logs have this part different in eventic, basically. So it will get player character and as the player objective collect firewood. Okay, fine. So it's basically sets as pickable or not pickable here as because the first objective is get the firewood, so it should do it on spawn as well. So basically, when it overlaps with the player object and it's pickable, it will go around with the item slots. Uh, okay, fine. It will destroy a log, then it will player character. Okay, fine. So it will check if we have one or basically three, how many logs which we have. If it's three, or I guess it should be three or more than three, then the yeah, okay. Then it will change the objective to light the fire. Yes, that's it. And when it changes the objective, it saves. What's this is saving part? Okay, we got through all of that. Please, close these, close these, close these, close these. Okay. So yeah, we got the logs, we got the hunger pickups. The anti actors are basically multimedia thing. So yeah, the first multimedia thing is basically the fire. The fire comes out and all. The explosion happens. Next anti actor is the yeah. Okay, it's the sound of the fire. I would assume. Uh, this anti actor, yeah, is the zombie moving. This anti actor, yeah, is I guess the sound or the door opening. Yeah, okay, that's the door opening, and this is the sound basically. Minor hunger pickups, we know that. Uh, Explosion of the fire, yes. Okay, yeah, as you can see. So that anti actor was the firewood going up. We have three firewood here, which goes up, and the explosion happens, and fire happens. Okay, it's an emitter. It's basically round order. Don't worry about it. Sky sphere, everything. Okay, fine. Next, we'll look at the blueprints, which we have. We looked at battery pickup. This is updated one. We'll look at later. First, let's look at the player. It should be third person character. It's you. Okay, yeah. Yeah, wow. I actually did mark it correctly. Nice. Okay. These are the things which Unity gives, Unreal gives on its own. Basically, uh, the gamepad inputs, the mouse input, the keyboard input, the touch input, jump. I don't. It should give jump. I would assume it does give jump, and not we have to make it, but whatever. This is the orientation. Fine. Fine. Did we add anything? No. Okay, fine. Okay, let's look at these parts. What are these supposed to be? In my case, I would assume these are the inventory. Get player, get actor rotation. Okay, what rotation? Fine. It's about rotating something. When is pressed? What is pressed? Okay, D item 2. Okay, fine. When basically the item slot is pressed, it will get the player's rotation and it will put the item upward. Basically, removing things from the inventory, I would say. So basically, this is that a transform. Yeah, basically, it will spawn the item in the inventory back to where the player is standing when you click on the item in the inventory. I think you could use Alt, I guess, or Control to basically use the mouse in the game. And just click on it. In the original, or you can just press the key as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the tutorial, this was supposed to be just by using the keys, but using the mouse felt like, yeah, it was a natural thing to do. So basically that. These 5 are supposed to be the same thing, that inventory thing. Next is uh, discard. Basically, is discard active or not? You can discard or not. So yeah, it will show mouse cursor and remove mouse cursor. Basically, it should be via Alt, I would say. Let's see. It should be key presses, I would say. Project settings. Okay, let's look at what the buttons do. I even need to find out what torch button is. We'll get rendering shapes, tutorial UI, control. Yeah, input. Bindings, action mapping. Yes. So yeah, sprint is shift, flashlight is F. Wow. Uh, Toggle discard is left control, so it was control, not an alt. Item is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if I'm correct. I think it's the one above the what alphabets and not the keypad. And these are use items. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the discard items are also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so yeah, when discard is active and discard is deactivated, I would say. Yeah. So yeah, we got what it's supposed to be to player, third person character. So yeah, basically press left control and then it will set the mouse cursor active or not, and you can just use that. So this is the logic for hunger part decreasing. Yeah, it should be. So basically everything is an event. These all things are from the event type. Okay. So basically 1, 2, 3, it will go around like that. So first the hunger thing. Yeah, it will just check if the tick is there or not. If the tick is there, it will with a duration of like what second, I think. Yeah, in seconds. So yeah, in 1 second it will every second it will remove put the hunger as -1. Yeah, and when it's 0, the game is paused, and yeah, these are supposed to be the game over screen, basically. Next is stamina. So stamina degeneration, basically you run. So it will, yeah, it will check if the speed. Okay, yeah, it removes 2 when you run each second, I guess. It's second. No, wow, it's even lower. It's each 0.2 seconds. When you run, it will remove 2. So it should be around what 8 per second. No, yeah, 10 per second. That's correct. So yeah, it should remove 10 per second, and it puts the max walking speed at 200. Usually the max walking speed is 100. So yeah, it puts it as 200. Fine. Uh, when it's not like walking, then is sprint on. Yeah, basically it's the condition is a sprint on. The sprint on is basically if the shift is pressed or not. So yeah, if the shift is not pressed, then it will regenerate stamina over time. So basically every 0.2 second, it regenerates a third of the stamina. Wow. a third of the stamina. So what? Every 0.6 seconds it regenerates one. Yeah, fine. It's considerably slower, but it's still fine. When on the above one as well. So when there is no when it less than zero the stamina, is sprint on is set as off. Basically, no more running. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's put as off, and it will change the movement as what 200. The 100 is the default. So when sprint is off, then it will be 100 as constant. Yeah, and it's more than 100. It will stay more than it will keep it at 100. Next, the battery, similar to the stamina, but the regen is not there. Instead of it should increase via the battery pickups. So kind of similar to the hunger instead of, but with kind of is flash. So yeah, as we saw, it's with the key F key. So yeah, basically set visibility. Yeah, so is supposed to be for the player. Let's look at the player. So basically, the player has a camera stuck to his head and a light source. This light source is basically the flashlight, uh, and it should work. Okay, so yeah, this is the battery. When the flashlight is off, it will drain battery. It won't drain battery, and when the flashlight is on, it will drain battery of 2 per 0.2 second. Basically the same as stamina. Yeah, the spotlight is basically that light. The flashlight, I would is the same thing. It's basically setting the visibility of the spotlight and moving it around with the character. I would say it will get okay. It will check as well if the battery is there or not. If the battery is zero, it won't work, and it will set is flash on and is flash off. This is the main thing, uh, and this small thing will be the thing which is basically setting the like flashlight on or off. Next is the sprint. Input speed set to 600 and 200. Initially it was 100, but it was too slow, so I put it default as 200, and the sprinting is 600, which is quite good. So as you can see, this is basically the player things. Uh, Not too much, I would say. Next, which we can see is, let's see the tutorial. What is the tutorial? This is the new, I think. Basically, it is the thing which will come at this. It should come at the very start, explaining what the things are. So let's just hide everything so we can see it one by one. Okay, so this is the term. So basically, it will be this thing first. Wow, very poor font choice, but whatever. Okay, find food to stay alive, basically saying that we need food. Then this should come. Press shift to sprint. Okay. Then press F to switch flashlight. Uh, when I played it before, it should have come, but it didn't. I don't know why. I am quite sure it should be because it didn't come because it actually did come, but it was too slow. So this is basically based on a timer, right? So 1 second do this, second do this, third second do this, right? So yeah, the timer passed before it could load properly. Next is the arrow, this arrow. Let's see what it says. When this goes to zero, you die. Basically, looking at the hunger bar. Uh, okay. If it depletes when you sprint, regenerate when you don't. So it should be talking about the. Aren't there more arrows? Okay, fine. So this should be talking about the stamina and battery. Find your flashlight. Basically this. Okay, whatever. Switch everything on, I guess. There should be more arrows. But well, whatever. Okay. So this is basically a tutorial. It is set on a timer. I would assume. So there should be something. Timer, no. What? Yeah, okay, graph. So basically event graph. It should take the animation. Animation is basically the tutorial right? Yeah, one now. As I basically show, this is the animation. Yeah. Okay. So text block is this. Yeah. Basically, it will make it so it plays. So at this point, is find food to stay alive. So basically, food will correspond with the hunger bar. So hunger bar comes at the same time. Print and this. Okay, fine. So the arrow moves. So this comes at this time, and lastly the arrow will move and the battery part will come. Fine. So three instructions basically for the three keys. Shift. Uh, the hunger bar is automatic, and as well as the flashlight. Fine. So this is basically the tutorial thing. Let's go back. Next thing. So this is the save game state basically. I don't think this has anything in it. Yeah, this is basically for saving the game. That's it. Next thing is the HUD width. Yeah, let's look at it. So this objective, basically description of the object, this doesn't change. This is the thing which changes. Collect the firewood, light the fire, get the mansion key, open the mansion door, and then you're done. So, hunger, stamina, battery, this word which is fixed, and the item slots. Okay, let's look at the graph. The graph should be good. Uh, okay, get objective, basically get objective from the text, whatever, and it saves. Okay, it checks the save, and from the save, if there is an objective, it uses that. If there is no objective, it doesn't use it. Basically, the objective, when you save the game, the objective is saved. That's the only thing which is saved. I guess that item plotting, those things are not saved. Well, whatever. This is for the objective. This is for getting the battery. If you get the battery, player battery increases. Wow. 100 return not get battery. Okay, fine. So yeah, this is the item slot. We'll look at one of them and just go on. Yeah, okay, it's basically the same as what we saw in the player character, but here it's just for removing the thing from the item. So basically this will go around with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, and basically set. For example, 1 is the firewood, 2 is the key, and if it's none of them, it will just set as transparent. Get slot 5 item. Okay, yeah, this is basically all the slots. Basically get hunger, basically how we get the hunger. These are all the functions basically. So if I call get slot 4 item, it will get what item is there. So it will 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. Yeah. Get stamina is just getting the stamina's value. Get hunger is basically getting the hunger's value out of 100. Of course, everything this divided by 100 is basically out of 100. These get value will be used in basically the main, it should be used in the main event graph. Okay, yeah, it should be used in the main event graph here. And yeah, all of these are event types. No, this is the one thing. So this is the main important thing. So basically, those gives the percentile of the bar, because the bar is considered 0 to be nothing and 1 to be the full bar. So basically, it divides by 100 so that it gives the percentage how much the bar is full. So yeah, in every tick, it will basically update the UI. Item slot 1, item slot 2, item slot 3, everything. Even, yeah, this is what sets the items basically. 0, 1, and 2. 0 should be nothing. 1 should be the basically the image of the firewood, and 2 should be the image of the what's called, yeah, the key. Yeah, basically this is doing the same for slot 3, slot 4, and slot 5. Yeah, basically for the slots. So yeah, yeah, we're designer as well. As you can see, this basically just get the stamina value. This is basically for the preview. We can just preview it here. It will always get the stamina value, get the hunger value, get the battery value. This will, this image will be based, changed according to the code. So get nothing here. See? So it has, yeah, it has on pressed one, which is basically discarding. Yeah, on pressed here, we basically fine. So yeah, nothing to change. Next thing which we have is objective complete. Let's look at objective complete. Let's say the animation. That's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. So this is basically the animation. Fade. I guess there's a fade, color change, rotation, and scale. I would say. Yeah. Translation is there? I guess. But it's more like rotation is there and scale is there. Shear, no shear. And of course, the color is there. So rotation, scale, color, and yeah, color basically is this fade and the amount of red. Yeah. So basically, it goes for no color to kind of white, reddish color, which is half transparent, to a full, complete red, no transparent, and then goes back to some transparency. Transparency, kind of. Basically, this is just an animation for the UI. Nice. Let's go next thing. No key. What does no key mean? Okay, fine. When there's no key, you need to just, it goes and says find the key. It's a okay, so it flashes twice. Everything, even in the tutorial, as you saw, everything flashes. I thought this was enough to get the attention and it would not cause any problem. I might be wrong in that. Later, I would say it's better to just put it in some brighter color which contrasts with the background. White is fine in this case because everything is looks basically black. So yeah, and just saying it should be enough. Uh, main mode is main mode, logs keys, and yeah, let's look at the end. Basically, it's a menu screen. You what perished? Yeah, the font choice is really not good. You perished, return to menu. Fine. Return to menu go to the main menu. Assume this thing. Basically, there are some events which is basically, let's look at the graph button. Delete games. Yeah, okay, fine. This one is on click reset. Resets basically deletes the slot. No, save things. Click on D minus. So yeah, basically it's an FOV thing. So FOV sliders, distance scale, one distance scale. Basically it increases and decreases the FOV. The resolution is this. Basically it changes the resolution. On click options. So when options is there, the buttons 1080, 720, D plus D minus, reset and return. Return basically goes back to the first. So it switch it makes them visible and while making option exit and start invisible. On click exit, basically exits the game. Start starts the game. On click return, basically does the opposite of what options does. And this is basically an event construct. Okay, so this is basically, as you saw in the top right, if I press enter, it would basically start the game. Where is that part? Yeah, this is supposed to be close to it. That part, but this is basically the flashing thing, the enter thing, right? It, yeah, I would say. So yeah, this thing flashing is not this thing. These two things flashing. The animation should have flash. Yeah. So this continuously flashes, and that's what that was. The event. Fine. Just collect the firewood. Change over. Yeah, let's do it. Collect the firewood. If I am correct, this same code should apply to the key as well. When character is got by the character, it will set the objective. No, yeah, it will get set the objective to something. This shouldn't really matter. What? So it will go around saving things, creating a save slot or not, and will change the objective basically. So basically, if there is no objective currently in the save game, it will put it as collect the firewood. If there exists objective in the save game, it will use that. That's it. That's what this whole code is about. And let's go to change objective. This is basically the same, but basically more general. This is called when yeah, basically this is called when the player has a save slot. If it doesn't have a save slot, then basically collect the firewood is the thing which is called. We put back the pickup. These are the hard items. Fine. I guess this is all for the blueprints. So we'll look at the construction basically. This is basically for what? This is basically just 6 walls. Yeah. And the door was made using a negative box and cutting the thing out. Yeah. That was it. Trigger is basically when you enter this and if you have enough firewood, this will basically trigger the fire coming out. And you then have to go to the mansion. That's it. So yeah, play this once more after knowing everything which happened. So this is basically the flashlight. As you can see, it's not very helpful, but fine. This is the world's end. Yeah, that's where we have to go. I'm using shift, I'm running, so we'll get some batteries. Uh, you can jump basically the same as the Unity default thing. Sorry, Unreal default thing. That is supposed to be the mansion. This is supposed to be the mansion, so wrong place. We need to go to the fine. We have a lot. Basically, follow these lights things, and yeah, there should be the change the player location. Spawn location. Wow, it does hang a lot of. So as you can see, fine, we already have a save whatever. These are the firewoods. I can collect these, as you can see. Firewood is always collectible. Yeah. Objective complete, collect the firewood. Basically, we'll get some more batteries. Yeah, and how would I discard it? Let me go to the firewood. Okay, I'm standing on the firewood, but I have enough firewood, so that's why it's not collecting. Let's get some food before we die. How will I discard it? I'll just put control and I'll just click on the firewoods. Yeah, so it discarded the firewood, I would say. Yeah. I cannot pick more firewood. That's a bug because the objective is changed. I don't have 3 firewood now. I will never get 3 firewood. The thing is, I can only pick firewood when the objective is collect the firewood, while I can remove firewood from the inventory anytime. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. But I made it like I don't know what I thought, but I thought it was a good idea. Deleting item from the inventory, I don't know why I made it. Even though I can only just pick 3 firewood and the objective would change, and then I couldn't pick anymore. Same with the key. So yeah, this is basically the first project. About the terrain, let's look something about the landscape as well. Mhm. Yeah, fine. So basically, of course, let's zoom. Yeah. So this is basically the whole of the landscape. The mountains are the mountains. Don't worry about this. This is basically file. It gets ready for when I need to put it up or not. As you might have guessed, my computer is not that beefy. So yeah, this is something which happens to me. If I just keep it like this for a long time, then the texture will go back up. As you can see, it's compelling shader 200 something. So yeah, basically I put 3 layers for painting the texture. I had basically 3 layers for this. The dirt layer, the rock layer for the mountains, and the grass layer. I put earlier I did have a forest as well for the foliage, but now I only have like 4,000 grass. I had as many different type of trees as well, but it basically just made it unplayable, uneditable, anything. So many items, I would say. Yeah, so basically I just deleted everything. I can just delete checkbox and basically remove, deactivate, remove. Right. So basically, yeah, I this was basically my first time creating environment as well. So I basically just made the edges high so that so I cannot escape from the which was cool. Earlier, as I said, when I had trees, there was supposed to be a big tree in the middle island as well, and there was supposed to be like a key there as well or something like that. Basically, reach it there, it would be good. The lake, basically, the water is not, you cannot float in the water. So basically, you just sink there. So if I just remove the example, go to normal thing. Basically, this is supposed to be basically, I guess, two planes for water. One plane was not enough to cover it, and it was not getting resized, according to what I believe. As you can see, a shallow bridge kind of thing for the middle, which I made because otherwise, you if you fall here, you can only go back up like this and not by any other means. It doesn't allow you to go back up from for directly the side. Was the problem, so that's why I made this shallow part. As for the mansion, let's go look at the construction of the mansion. How it was basically is an object. Basically, a cube. Basically, I reshaped it. This is stairs. With there is a stair brush which helps with making stairs. Stair, and then I made another stair, and I just combined two stairs like on it. Really work good, but whatever. This is a big cube again with a hole. Then I have the door frame with asset which I already had, and the doors. The two doors. I guess I already had these as well. Uh, this this thing is basically the door swinging open when I go to this green trigger box, and when I go to the green trigger box, the door opens. I guess half a second later or something. This zombie goes up. The sound plays. The basically the sound is a loud kind of thing. It's not very good. I recorded it, I think, on my own. Uh, yeah. So made this earlier. It was as you can see from the sky, it was supposed to be dusk-ish. So yeah, it was supposed to get some light. Trees, of course, interfered a lot with it. Lightning broke. I don't know how, but well, it did. So as you had seen, it basically became black. I thought, okay, fine. If it's black, then it's more survival horror kind of thing. Is I didn't. I had more of the, as you saw this plant, light flower. I had more of these light flowers around the world to basically light up things, important things. For example, paths which you can take, these dirt paths as you see, right? Basically, it was supposed. These is the rises, and basically there was these dirt paths. As you can see, these paths. I did try to put those things too tedious and too like it took too much time. And the light flowers light was not good enough, so basically I just abandoned it. The light should also come from here, but it doesn't light up anything. It also broke, I guess, with the sky. So yeah, that's it. Inside it, there is a chandelier. This works, as you saw, and the keys. I guess the keys also should. No, I don't think the keys don't have a light source. The texture for the battery pickup is luminescent, the yellow parts as you saw, and so is for the food as well. These parts are luminescent because I didn't want them to like hide in the dark. I could have done the same things for the log or key as well, but where is the fun without finding it? It becomes more of a survival horror while becoming largely inconvenient. That's the thing with making your first game. You make mistakes, improve upon it. Only I did like just get off of Until. I didn't like Until that much, so went to Unity, work there, use Podo and Unity to make 2D games, which I do now. That's it for this level, I guess. Did I miss something? Let me check. I guess. Fine. So yeah,